4x3 a purposeful choice?
It totally was, yeah.
Okay.
That was the best discussion we had on the set, where our DOP was like, "You're 100% you want this." Like, yeah, it's like, seriously, 100%, because if we don't do 4-3, you can see everybody around. Yeah, it was purposeful.
Yeah, my decision.
Because
Classic.
Claustrophobic.
you're not wrong. It was one of. How about this? I wouldn't have put those words to it, but I felt that, and now that you put those words to it, 100% yes.
It's based on my depression, right?
Okay.
Depression to me was claustrophobic.
Well, you're not wrong.
Right. So that's why it's 4-3.
No, yeah, right.
It can't be, in my mind, it can't be anything else. But I had to edit in 4-3 because looking at it wider doesn't make sense. It has to be 4-3.
Yeah, feeling of boxed in.
We shot it.
Yeah.
We shot on prime lenses from the 70s. That's why it's got that really fucking lovely film look.
Yeah, fucking.
Okay, now you've gone completely over my head. What's a prime lens from the 70s?
It's like an original lens from the 1970s, and so to an extent they were built.
Same
built
lenses that
cameras.
Alien was shot on.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we had to not only hire those lenses, we had to hire an adapter because these lenses aren't obviously the screw in onto new cameras isn't the same. So the threading isn't the same. So you have to hire fucking adapters to make sure these lenses hook onto your fucking new cameras.
Okay.
So yeah, when he spunks money, he spunks money.
all right.
It's one of those like, yeah, we're doing prime lenses. Like, cool. What are you shooting on? It's like, what were we going to shoot on? I can't remember what the fuck we shot on anymore. But it was like, yeah, these lenses don't work on this camera. So I was like, cool. And these things are never fucking cheap. Never cheap. I mean, the lenses actually to rent were almost as expensive as the.
Yeah,
has Kit Split made it to you guys yet?
Is there what? Sorry.
Kit Split.
That's we have a similar thing called Fat Llama.
Okay.
Which is the best named rental company of all time.
It's not bad.
But it's kind of almost not crowdfunded renting, but it's like someone has it and it's like, we'll rent this to you for this, in the hope that because I'm joining and I can do this, I'll rent something off you that I don't have. So yeah, it's a cheaper way of doing it, but
okay.
Yeah, it's still not fucking cheap.
Right, walking against Ryan, go.
We can go in depth as you want. I mean, this is the.
Which is
I love the way
like
the question is asked after Boilermakers.
which is like my life.
Okay.
So my life is Chris following me around, going, Chris, going, Scott, you can go as far as you want in this. Scott, no, you can't. Scott, let's walk out of this club right now.
Scott, you're not killing kids.
Right, exactly.
Still happening.
Yeah, that's it.
Scott, you see like these people at the bar. Let's leave. Let's leave right now.
Yeah, right.
Let's
Okay.
Yeah, there's plenty of, like a producer director situation and a proper like if you look at the credits, I produce as well, but like the proper dynamic is Chris is the number one producer and stuff we do.
It's not. I mean, I always call it. It's not producing. It's Scott wrangling.
Right.
Essentially, Scott comes through with a bunch of ideas, and I'm like, no.
And the
But no.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And
Nearly, but no.
And the other beauty of that is it doesn't just sit with film. It extends to life.
It's life, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go snow. No.
Right.
No.
Right.
But what about this
So
shit?
this is why any bar or club I attend, he's with me.
All right. Fair
I
enough.
kind of have to wind
So
it.
my life is produced/wrangled by Chris.
That's it. On his gravestone, it will be Here Lies Scott Lyus, produced by Chris Nall.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
We worked this out about 6-7 years ago.
Okay.
And this was the deal we made. You know when people say you made a deal
You sold with the devil.
Right,
yeah,
right. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you're lying.
But like we sold to each other, and it was on that basis of I will try and create the best films I can. Just stop me from dying.
Yeah.
And we're good.
Yeah.
Just stop me from getting in trouble every time we fucking head out the house.
Well, you know,
And we're
it's
good.
a fair leveler.
It's a fair level.
The argument we haven't had is when he cut off all his hair. I was like, oh my fuck's sake.
Right.
Yeah,
We had a conversation, but then I grew a beard and it worked out.
Yeah. You transplanted the hair from your head to
exactly.
your face.
And then I got some I spent a lot of money on tattoos, and
Really?
it turned out quite well.
Well, no,
Oh,
that's
it did.
it. It's marketability.
Right.
It's the,
Because that's Chris's thing, in all honesty. I'm not even going to dress it up. It's like, if he can whore me out in the best way possible. it was,
Dude, we've all got to make a living.
right. It was based on my hair-sprayed long hair before the way when we were at Street Fest.
Yeah.
And now it's my hat-wearing, tattooed self.
Fair.
So,
But
All right. Well, I'm
unfortunately,
not trying to cut anybody off here, but since you're on a little bit of a time frame, let's I'm gonna try to wrangle.
Do
a
it.
little.
No,
I'm
wrangle.
gonna try to wrangle
Wrangle
a
too,
little. All right, so
It's my life.
Walking Against the Rain.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of stuff. We've interacted about it on social media, but the Cliff Notes version is post-apocalyptic.
Yep.
Two people talking on radios with dying batteries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pick it up from there.
I think the differentiation there is that the post-apocalyptic might not be the post-apocalyptic that everyone's used
People
to.
thinking of.
Which is the interesting thing. It's not kind of like a zombie-based disease outbreak. It's almost more of a, I guess the best way to describe it would be like a kind of a biblical post-apocalyptic thing.
Yes. And also
where
the way
fire
I
and brimstone and Revelations-esque.
Trumpets and whatnot.
right, and also the way I first pictured Chris was, you know, when people do post-apocalyptic, right? They either do it in two ways. They do this is the outbreak and we're going to watch this happen and this is how the world ends. Or, this is 10 years after the world ended, now we're Mad Max.
Kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I went to Chris, I don't want to see the start, I don't want to see the end, I want to see the middle. I want to see people come to fucking terms with shit that's happened.
Yeah, it's like...
And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. I'm not going to tell
down
you how the world ended.
Okay, I'm
I'm not going to tell you how the world ended. Like, I'm gonna show you some shit.
Yeah, that's too expensive.
And you're right.
I'm sure.
Right, but I'm not gonna tell you because he'll say it's too expensive. I'm not interested in it. I don't care how it fucking ended. That's not important, right? I just want to show you how you're fucking dealing with it. Right? It's how you're fucking dealing with that world ending.
Most definitely, yeah.
Right,
Okay.
and that's the important part for me. It's like how did the world get to this fucking point? How did
So
how
we're not gonna get the
how
end.
do
It's
you
just
deal
like
with it?
we don't like personally. I'm one of those people. I know a lot of people watch Pulp Fiction and they just need to know what's in that case. My brother can't accept what's not in
Right,
the case.
see,
I don't give a fuck what's in the case.
There is a payoff.
Right, on
So
the other side.
There's a little bit of an explanation.
So on the other side.
Well, I mean, the explanation might be heavy, but there's payoff.
Okay.
I think you
Okay.
get payoff.
As a filmmaker, I don't give a shit what's in it. Because as a filmmaker, I don't want to tell you that because that's your job.
Thank you.
That's whose job? That's whose job?
The audience.
Wow.
The audience's job, right? Because film to me is an interaction,
Right.
right? If you're not
At
having,
its best, anyway.
if you're not having some kind of visceral reaction or some kind of interaction with what I'm doing, in my opinion, I'm doing it wrong.
Okay.
So like, we're walking against the rain. I'm not going to tell you how the fucking world ended. You can make that up for yourself, because then that's your involvement with that storytelling.
Totally.
And
Right.
this isn't like a kind of a push away of our responsibilities to tell a story.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because by the end, it's like, oh shit, okay, I kind of get what's happening now. But it's like, I think it's always good. I mean,
Well, the
going
other
back
side
to
of
the
it
Pulp
is-
Fiction thing, where you look at it, it's like you kind of, you know, it's not. I think actually Scott has undersold that in terms of like, it's not my job to do this. I think there is a job of a filmmaker to convey what's happening, but also like, you know, when we talk about horror films where it's played out where you don't see exactly what's happening, you know, your imagination takes over, and that's the most terrifying thing. You know,
Right.
because you fill in
It's
the
so
gaps.
much scary.
Yeah, you fill in the gaps yourself, and that's
It's so
the
much
most
scarier.
scary thing. One of my main criticisms of horror films recently, like take It for example, and I think
Shows too much.
Machete's issue, even from Mama to It, is that he shoots his bolt and has to show everything. You know, actually just.
Is that the guy that did Mama?
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, random aside. I know whenever people talk about that movie, they talk about whatever the fuck they feel like talking about. But to me, if I ever meet Jessica Chastain, I don't care how many movies she makes, I don't care what she's done. I'm gonna look at her and be like, you made that movie Mama.
She's
Because
the fucking
at the time, I was taking a lot of psychology classes, and we were, at the time that film came out, I was studying feral children. The scene where she calms that kid down, I will never forget that as long as I live. I don't remember dick else about that movie other than a couple of creepy looking kids and some cherries and a CG ghost. But that scene where she takes this child that is just having an existential crisis of freaking out and just is like, no, calm down. Even if it means physically restraining the child against its will for a few moments. The fact that is the physical contact, I don't know, man. There was so much about the filmmaking of that scene, her performance in it, just, anyway.
Blew my mind,
It's all her performance.
yeah,
it is,
she is.
Jessica Chastain is one, if not the best Hollywood actress around the minute. I have a lot of issues with It Chapter 2. I have none with her.
No, she's the best.
Okay.
She's
like
by
the
far the best part of. Jessica Chastain never turns anything in my heart. If she's in anything, you're getting 100%. And Mum is one of them. And in a way, she was kind of miscast in Mama, like because she's kind of playing this like goth kind of person.
She's miscast in
It's a bit
anything.
weird,
It's Dark
right?
Phoenix.
But-
We're not gonna go there.
My God, she's fucking excellent. Look, Dark Phoenix, right? Not a great film. She's brilliant.
She is.
No, she's fucking
like,
brilliant.
but at the same time, like, and it's through no fault of her own, but as brilliant as the performance is, like, it's in such a wildly different film that it feels so out of place that it's like, as brilliant as
Yeah,
the
I get
performance
where you
could
come
be in
from.
anything else, it's not in that film.
No, I get where you come from. But like, I've nothing bad to say about that.
No, for sure. Because
Like, as an
it is
actor,
pretty
Jessica
fucking freaky with
Chastain
the
is-
whole like twisty of the insides.
Jessica Chastain, like, there's a few in Hollywood, right? I could read off about 5 of them that I don't think can do any fucking bad.
I've never seen a bad Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Right, there isn't a bad Maggie Gyllenhaal, there isn't a bad Jessica Chastain, there isn't a bad Leo DiCaprio, there isn't a bad Jennifer Lawrence, there isn't a bad Bradley Cooper.
Nah, I can't. I mean, like, people argue about maybe
These are professional dudes, man.
isn't he in Halloween 6?
Who? DiCaprio?
No, isn't Cooper? Or am I
Oh,
wrong? No, it's
Cooper-
Rudd.
Cooper's in
Paul
Midnight
Rudd.
Paul
Meat
Rudd.
Train. Rudd is in
No, Paul Rudd, yeah, it's not
Bradley
called
Cooper's
Halloween
in
6.
Midnight Meat Train.
It's not called Halloween 6.
Which is great.
Yeah, right?
I
Yeah.
just barely saw that recently,
Yeah,
too.
it is.
But no,
fucking badass.
Cooper, Bradley Cooper is like, if I think anyone is gonna like take Hollywood as Bradley Cooper after watching A Star Is Born,
Oh my god, I love that movie so much.
How can a guy direct something like that for like a
First
film?
film.
Have you guys listened to the Director's Guild podcast with him?
yeah,
No, I haven't. No.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you need to.
Mate, I've seen every fucking thing he's done about a film because
Right,
I
boys, we've got to wrap this up. I think.
fucking adore
Alright,
that film.
alright.
I
So,
adore
Any
that
final
fucking
notes?
so back, okay, so Walking Against the Rain is this crazy post-apocalyptic thing with these people that are going to make this connection. Now, your Kickstarter,
Development.
it did pretty well, and
Yeah,
you
so
were going to
we-
make one, but you get to make a couple.
So with the Kickstarter, we managed to raise our pre-production budget, which has basically changed our entire.
Kind of,
output.
it is like, look, it's pre-production. It was also a development fund.
Mhm.
It was like to develop it to the point where we were either gonna take it to a second Kickstarter that would make a shitload of money. The beauty of what we had is we went for 15 grand. We made that very easily, and then on the back of that, we made 17. Bang on 17.
No, that is
From doing that,
17 for y'all or 17 American.
no, 17 for us. So for you,
I'm just making
20.
sure because
Yeah.
For you, like 20, 21.
There you go. That's the
But
number I was looking for.
right. But like, what that was for us was like to develop it, get to a point where we can literally take that and raise some serious money. Now that was originally going to be like, look, we've got this budget in mind that then we're going to kickstart after that, and we're going to kickstart development / pre-production, production, post-production. Turns out we don't need to do that because we have made such a splash in the last few years on the Black Mass Kickstarter and then the development Kickstarter, pre-production Kickstarter for Walking Against the Rain. Yeah, we've gained some massive attention, and for your listeners out here, we're recording this in California. And the reason we're recording this in California is because me and Chris are out here because we've had a couple so far and we've got a couple more to come. Serious investor meetings because we've had a few people that have looked at what we've done and gone, you got a bit of an audience, you're attracting a bit of attention. And as soon as you do that, people start taking notice. Especially like if you can go, look, this is just like pre-production, this is just development, and you can raise like $20,000. Like straight away, people are like, oh shit, you're raising $20,000 without even making a film.
Without
Right, so-
us fucking
right.
with you, you're doing
So
it
like,
yourself.
so like based on that, and then like one of the things we keep hearing is like, even though it's a bit of a tough sell to like film festivals at times, like what we do is very character driven, very story driven, hard edge, horror storytelling with a real fucking meaning behind it. Like, it's a little hard to program at festivals, we fully understand that, but we've been very lucky and like investors and an investor we met this morning, that's how he discovered us. Because he looked at what he was doing, he goes, no one else is doing what you're doing. No one else is telling these stories you're telling, no one is taken the time to develop character and story the way you are in storytelling. And he even said, look, I understand festival and hopes, but I don't care.
It's like with Echoes, it's like you're sitting there and it's maybe longer than like a typical festival type short, but
Echoes was,
when it gets there, it doesn't just fucking go there. It's like, oh fuck, okay,
Right,
more?
100%. And like so based on that, how do you wrap up Black Mass? You watch that tonight, right? So for your listeners, you wrap that up tonight. So you just wrapped Echoes. How do you wrap up Black Mass?
Fuck. No, okay, like we've all had a little bit to drink. Like that's a real question, and I like to be as honest as I can. So
I asked it for that reason.
no, for sure. So the only issue I had with it was I had issue understanding the what the father was saying. So
Because he's accent, right?
Maybe it was the accent, but to me it honestly sounded like the mix. That was me.
Yeah,
That was me.
no, I feel
Because
that.
I understood both of the girls. I could not understand the man. I just couldn't.
Right.
So, where if I had understood everything he said, I may have been a 9 or a 10 on a 10. I was only able to get a 6 with him, but I was able to get an 8 or a 9 with the girls.
Right.
Okay.
So, and overall, like emotional impact, a solid 8. The filmmaking of
So
it.
what about the end scene with him? And then is that then down to his accent, or is that down to because the mix is the same, right, on all three of them?
No. Oh, the mix on that
Is
scene
it?
is, yeah.
But
not on the-
perhaps
not-
it is the accent and
The opening
unfortunately,
scene,
that's
the
just-
opening
I'm gonna have
scene,
to
the
cop it.
score is.
Yeah,
heavy.
but that's not what I'm saying. Is like,
But,
does
like,
that carry over into the end scene?
You mean like in my?
So like
my
you know
way
where
to
you're saying
understand-
like you're having trouble understanding.
Yeah.
Do you have trouble understanding just in the opening scene, or the whole film is in like
Pretty
at
much the
end?
whole thing.
Right.
But that being said, like I picked up enough to not be so taken aback that maybe I felt betrayed by the end of the film. Whereas
So that's-
I thought it was maybe like
So
if in quotes I thought it was gonna end happy, which I'm a person personally I'm a be in the moment, let it do what it does. But that it didn't end in an upbeat fashion didn't annoy me because I saw I understood it and I saw it coming.
Yeah.
If we're gonna break it down by like an act structure, then like being in the third act.
So
where
like,
it's like,
I'm very interested by that, and this is a thing like we've run into a lot. This one I'm very interested by. It wasn't just the opening scene; it was the end scene as well with him.
it was most of his dialogue.
Right.
Okay.
Most of his dialogue.
So that
had
isn't
no
that
issues.
isn't a mix issue because the mix with the girls and him at the end is exactly the same.
Okay.
It's the same track.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Fair enough.
So it's like an accent, like that. That's not on you. That's on us as a. Well, it's not on anyone because like I'm making it sound like we hired the wrong act. We didn't because Johnny's fucking amazing. I love him. But it's an accent thing.
Apparently, it is an accent thing,
Yeah,
but at
yeah.
the same time, like even though there was an accent thing, like
You gotta face the
based on
audience.
based on everything else
Yeah.
that was going on around it, and based on his physical and facial.
Oh man,
performance,
he's amazing.
I didn't.
He's amazing.
I didn't miss anything.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just missed specificity.
Oh no,
Yeah.
this isn't like a thing of like, oh shit, like it's terrible and we should hide it. It's not like I'm not throwing that out there because I fucking love Johnny. I wouldn't change it for the fucking world. Like a million people can tell me like I don't understand his accent. I don't give a shit because like
Right.
the fucking guy's amazing and I wouldn't
Like,
change it for the world.
it-
Like I wrote the role for him as well.
If
I
he didn't
also-
speak Chinese, I still would have picked up the
Right.
same concept of
That's what
emotion.
I'm getting at. That's
Yeah.
what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
getting at. Like it's not like a hit on the audience or a hit on the actor because I don't want it to sound like either like that. It's just like I accept what it is.
Okay.
And I wouldn't change it because I wrote the role for him and I love him and I fucking adore him and I think he smashed it out of the park. And the fact that you're saying like the accent might have been a problem, which is fine. We always knew it fucking would be. Like the Irish accent is always a fucking problem. Like for instance, we've got a friend who's an Irish filmmaker.
Okay.
Even for us, that's the fucking problem,
Okay.
right? I wouldn't change that for the world. The point is actually, I think we did make the right decision because the fact you're saying like, look, because the accent, maybe I didn't get all of it, but based purely on fucking the way he acts it.
Oh yeah, no, I got it all.
Right,
I got
right,
it all.
Mhm.
I just didn't pick up on specificity
Yeah.
because of language. Yeah.
That's
As
like
awkward as that
I'm
is.
okay with that. I'm okay with that. To be
Okay.
honest, like I see a lot of films like that, and I'm okay with that. The producer we met this morning, there come a moment where I just said to him like, "What's the deal? Like, what do you want out of this?" And then he went to us about Street Fest,
Okay.
and he said like, "That's where I discovered you."
Really? Okay.
And he said like,
Yeah, yeah.
since then, that's where I paid attention. He said I've been watching, and that's why I put a little bit of money into Black Mass, and that's why I've been watching Walking Into Rain. And then when you said you're coming out to LA, that's why I said I need a meeting with you.
Right on.
And that's it. And he said, like, now I think you're the guys I want to take the gamble.
See, there you go. Cause
Right. But that all come from that scream at Shriekers.